Howdy. Today we will be looking at how to apply web to an existing component design in Fusion 360. One of the important things to consider is where loads will be placed. In this case, each of these three circles, these three holes in the triangular configuration will be receiving a load. And here's a totally different rectangular example where you can clearly see that load goes to 6 different circular holes, two on the ends and two in the middle for a total of 6. So it's important to recognize where you're going to be receiving load and base your calculations off of that. So I set up a little geometry lesson here to explain the 30-60-90 triangle, which historically has been used in steel trusses and any type of structural joist. Now your 30-degree angles are ideal for the load point. So if I'm going to attach something with a screw or a bolt, for example, and I have a hole drilled out through my material for that, that is considered a load point. The opposite wall needs to have the 60 or the 90-degree angle. Okay, those are set up in this demonstration that I'm showing you, as you will see. So we're going to pan down and look at our actual working geometry. And once I have my constraints, I can go ahead and finish that sketch and extrude it. Now I also have a sketch on top of this particular body, which I am going to turn into webbing later, and it will update actively. But first, let's turn that top sketch off temporarily and apply a shell. I want to shell off of the top surface and the bottom surface so that I cut clean through the material, and I'll use a 2.5 millimeter dimension for that. At that point in time, I can go back up to my home view, turn that sketch back on, and if I am sort of confident about these rib locations that I've just drawn lines and sketch, I could go ahead with the webbing and then adjust them later. So let's try that. We're going to create a web, and we want to use each of these lines that we have drawn in the sketch mode, and we want to apply the 2.5 millimeter. We could decide that we want to, in this case, extend the curves, which will beef it up even a little bit more, and that might be helpful. Now my options are for thickness and for depth because I'm going with a distance. I could just say that I wanted to go to the next intersection. In this case, that's going to produce undesirable results. So I want to use distance and clearly define where I want each of those ribs of my web. So once I say OK to that, that'll be locked in.